Unmuted, and you're on.
We are on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode three. Episode three of the industry. I was like, where am I looking? This is another setup, you guys. So if you're here live, say hello. Tell me in the comments where you are tuning in from. We are very excited. And this is our third episode, and this is the third setup. How do you guys like this setup? I'm digging this setup. Hi, Lou. I can see you. Lou, you look so fabulous. I can't wait to bring you on in a minute. So everyone, if you're tuning on live, please say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm sitting here in my office with Jake. We just spent the last 2 hours setting up this new setup, and I'm very, very excited. And I'm feeling good. So today we have two special people that we're going to bring on. And I feel like it's going to be some really good coaching, really good conversations. And I think that we will just dive in. So I also want to say this. Lou sent me a $100 gift card for Tim Hortons today. Thank you, Lou. You're like the best person ever. We're going to get sponsored by Tim Hortons. All right. So before we bring on Lou, there's actually a few things that I want to say. The first thing is, if you're not following us on TikTok yet, get on TikTok. We just finished, or today is our last day of our first full 30 days, first month on TikTok. There is videos and there's content on TikTok that is not shared anywhere else. So I am Exogingy on TikTok. Go binge all of our TikToks from the last month. And we're very excited because we have a whole new segment of content coming up the next month. So that's very, very, very exciting. And I think that's the only other thing that I wanted to say right now. Anything else, Jake?
No, short snippets on TikTok.
Short snippets on TikTok.
You can watch them all in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you can watch them literally all in 10 minutes. Really good content. So with that being said, let's dive in. Let's bring Lou up and we'll go from there. Cool?
All right, Lou, yeah.
Hey. God, I miss you. I'm so excited. 12 days and counting. And then I get to join you again. So I'm really excited. And I wore some pink for you today. So
I know you're so on brand. I love it. You look fabulous. I'm so happy that you're here today. Thank you for the gift card. And I can't wait to have you back in the mastermind in like 2 weeks, 12 days.
Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. As you know, I am a fire round kind of person. So when they're like, pick a question, I'm like, a question? A question. Okay. So I'm like, which one? Do I go for me or do I go for the audience? And I feel like I'm going to take this time today. And it's going to be a question I really hope radiates and relates to everyone. As you know, I've basically burned down. Oh, sorry, I should say this in case people are wondering, like, who is she? I am a CFO for online rockstar coaches who know how to make the money, but then don't know what to do with it. And I make money sexy. So I am the financial guru that coaches bring me in and go, what do I do with this money? How do I make more? And how do I retire with a lot of money in their pocket? So as you know, I basically burned down my firm this last 90 days. And now I'm looking at my calendar and as you know, I'm jumping back in with you. I'm ready to get back into the coaching side because I've freed up all this time by hiring a team. They're doing the work that needs to be done in the firm. So my question to you is, as you know where I am and what I'm doing, where do I spend this free time? How do I take the time I now have, which I feel like I never had before? Where do I spend it? How do I invest it? What's the best way to take any of the free time I have? And I'm talking like 15, 20 hours a week, but for some people, maybe it's 5. Where would you suggest someone with some time building their coaching practice would spend that time?
So I would double down on the social media, the content, the community building. Creating content, posting content, and building community. Like when I say building community, like live streams in your Facebook group, live streams on Instagram, like whether it's someone is beginning their coaching business and they have more free time, or like in your position, like you've just built your businesses so you have more free time. The first thing that comes to me is leverage that time through content and building the audience, building the brand, the awareness. Like, so just as an example, right now, us doing the industry with where I am in my business, I'm like, oh, I have free time on Fridays because I'm not I've scaled my business that I'm not on calls all the time. So you've scaled your CFO business. You have a team that's taking care of that work. Now you have time for your brand.
Yeah.
I would spend the time creating content, doing live series, building community, like anything like that. Because brand, that's something that you can leverage forever.
Okay, and then in that, what happens when, let's say I've done this and now I'm at capacity, sorry, I have barking dogs, I apologize. I'm at capacity for my clients. Do you still continue putting all this effort and work into it, knowing you might not be able to take clients on in the next 3 to 6 months? Like, that's what I find,
Yes.
like we do, okay.
Because what you do for brand audience content now is going to last you years in advance. So this is where if you, because some coaches, and it's okay, are thinking, if I do this now, I'm going to get something now and only short term. But if you look at content, social media, brand, you just sharing your life, you documenting your life, that you're building relationships that are going to last years in advance, and you're going to care about those relationships in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, because you might be scaling group offers where it's not about being full or not, it's about having as many people as possible in your world. So I think of it as like, even this today, I'm like, this is such an exciting thing where I get to give feedback to you today in the short term, the people who are watching this today in the next couple of days, but the pieces of content that will come from this, and people watching this video that find this Facebook group in 6 months from now, like those relationships are going to last years in advance. So I look at, like, don't just think of the short term, think of long term. Okay. But also, like, you have offers that are filled, but this is how you can waitlist people, right? So it's like you can start, right? Like you could get people signing up 6 months in advance. That's incredible. The demand is going to go up.
Yeah. And I feel too, like, so what I'm hearing from you is the time I'm taking now, it is all about my job is now the time that I'm not with my clients or supporting my team. My job is now to put myself where I need to be in order to build those relationships, in order to build that brand, in order to become the person online that people look to for help and support financially.
Yeah. And you know what? Well, here's the other thing that I want to say is, like, I feel like I can envision you doing a little bit more of, like, I don't know how much you do this right now, but like documenting behind, like, and that can be your content on your social media of like, hey, I'm going to fill you guys in of how we have scaled the CFO business, and look at my team, and look like I think just like less about what can I create to give value, but more of like just documenting what you've created and documenting, hey, I have space and now I'm doing this and now I'm doing this. Like, I feel like that is such easy content to just document what you're doing and what you're doing outside of business too, within your space, how you're taking care of your health, how you're investing, like how you are going on a trip, like all of those kinds of things, like bring people on the journey. Then they're going to fall in love with you, Lou, the person, and how you offer your services and help people.
Well, and I feel like too, like one of our very last calls in the first 2022 mastermind, where like literally I was driving to pick up my brand new car that I paid cash for. And the fact that I was like, 1 second, and I got to share that moment with you. I'm like, I need that video, because that, I mean, it's there, but that video, like, that's what I want to get to and what I want to share. And it's really exciting where we're going and what we're doing. And yeah, I did not document the blood, the sweat, the tears, the crying, the yelling, the anger, the whole thing through this burn down. But I really do think I could definitely go back and pull stuff and document and share where it's gone and why we've done that. So I think that's great too.
Yeah.
God, I've missed you so much.
Anything else that you want to like ask?
Really?
We have time.
Okay, I have one question.
I know you've got your notebook full of questions.
I do, but I know, like, I all these different questions, but I'm like, just take the time that's given and we'll do the rest inside of the mastermind. But I have like actually a burning question that's been sitting with me for so long. And I know I DM you, but I never expect a response. Usually it's like me just like sharing something with you. But a lot of times you celebrate publicly on your IG stories about your private clients and how they've, like, what I call hockey stick. They're just like, here, it's good, but then they go with Steph and it just shoots right up. And I've always wondered, I would like, if I was a fly on the wall inside of those Voxers, what would we hear? What would I
Ooh,
hear? That's different
I
than
like this question.
maybe mastermind or what we see online. Like, I want to be a fly on that wall when you're like, she's about to hit millions. She only came in, and I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? Because I want to hear that. So I would love for you to riff on that a little bit.
Oh my God, so good. Well, every conversation that I have with my private client is different. Everyone's different, right? And I think that's perfect. Like I sometimes it's really fun and really juicy. Like I had a call with a private client yesterday, and we are just like how close that she is to a million in her first like full-time year as an online coach, and like just like how exciting it's going to be the next couple of months, counting down to like when and how that happens, like talking about like what it really means to like build wealth. So with my private clients, it's a lot of like exciting, expansive conversations to like feel the energy and the excitement of what's happening. I think that something that I love as well with my mentor, but I love that happens in my containers, is just like when people come into my world, they ask me juicy questions like you just asked me here. And so it's like an inside scoop of like what I'm living and doing. And then that excites the client to be like, oh, that's so close for my reality. You know what I mean? It's just like being plugged into a high level, exciting conversation around success, money, that allows you to get really excited and feel it and create it so it happens sooner. But also, I'm going to be super real. A lot of my clients who are making massive amounts of money, like it's the same problems, it's the same fears, it's the same doubts, it's the same, oh my God, like no one's buying, or no one's seeing my social media posts, or it feels slow, or it's not working. Like it's the same mindset stuff. And I think that that's really refreshing to hear and for me to share, is because you can still keep growing your business financially, even though you still some days feel like it's not working, or some days the sales are low. Like, and so it really is like the same mindset shifts, the same fears, but it's just the fact that you can stay plugged in to whether it's me or another like one-on-one mentor, and you work through it quicker. So you're like, okay, I have a thought, I have a doubt, I'm gonna Voxer Steph, we're gonna talk about it, and then you shift it in like seconds, as opposed to like sitting by yourself for weeks overthinking if you don't have that access. So that's why, I mean, that's what happens in my containers. But in general, that's why I see the value so much of being in, whether it's private or a mastermind, because as soon as you notice like negative thought, doubt, whatever, you plug in, you can shift that perspective so quickly just by having someone to hold you to a higher standard. So that's really what it feels like.
Yeah, because I was like, what are they talking about? How is it different than the mastermind? But it's interesting because when I left in June, I said, I need a break. I gotta do this thing. In order to do this, I need to do all this. And I'll tell you, there are times in July and August, I picked up Voxer and I'm like, oh, they're not there. Like that was
that's so interesting, because like so many people, you don't know what it's like to be connected to someone like in Voxer until you are, and then you can't imagine what your coaching business was like before it. And then whenever you like have a phase of not having it, like you said, you're like, oh my God, I really value that. You know what I mean? But I also want to bring light to this, because I think this is refreshing as well, is like Lou, for context, everyone listening, was in my mastermind for, was it only 3? No, you were in 6 months. And the year, okay,
October
9 months.
June. Yeah.
October to June. And then you're coming back in this October. So Lou was in my world for like 9 months and then took a little bit of a break, which is okay. I just want to bring light to like, it's okay if you like take a couple months out of a mastermind, or take a couple months out of mentorship. Like that sometimes is okay. And I feel like there's a lot of sometimes shaming in the coaching industry of like, don't ever take a break. Like I said to Lou, I said to you in the last mastermind call, you were going to blink and you're going to be back in. And I feel like that's like, it's a full circle moment right now. Like in 12 days, you're going to be back in. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? I can't believe that you weren't even in my space. Like, it feels like you've been in the space the whole time. So I trust everyone's process, and it's okay to have healthy breaks, to integrate or go do other parts of your life, your business that need the attention as well.
And I think too, like Stephanie, you know, like I didn't come in as a coach. Like I jumped in, I've been coaching, but not like, look at me, I'm doing coaching. And
Yeah.
it was crazy what happened to be in your world. Like 7 months, I pulled $105,000 part-time on top of my company. And then
Crazy.
being with you January to June, I'm like, okay, there's a thing here. We need to adjust. And it wasn't until I was in the mastermind in March, I showed up somehow very differently, and all the women were like, oh my God, why are you not doing this on a larger scale? So, like, if it wasn't for your mastermind, there's no way I would be where I am. And for me, it's not just about business. You know, I come into you for health. Like my health is my wealth. And like I even message or put a thing like, girl, I just went and made a complete gym in my basement. Like I'm going
Yes.
all in, and like I come to your mastermind, I'm like, okay, so tell me something about health. Like I will do that. So I love that. For me, you're not a business coach. You are my lifestyle mentor. You are my life mentor. Like I wrote the message to you, like you seriously are my light. And even it was my husband, it wasn't me, it was Roger who was like, you need to go back in. I'm like, do you know how much money this is going to cost? He goes, I do not care. Pay it in full and go back in, because the person you are when you're with Stephanie is the person I knew I married over 20 years ago. And she shows
Oh my
up when
gosh.
she's with Stephanie. So you're in, and then you know me, I'm like, okay, but what's going to happen 6 months from now when her price has gone up? He's like, why are you there? Like, stop. And I'm like, okay. So my husband adores you and loves you just as much
Oh,
as I do. So,
I
and I'm
love
going to
you
be on our
so
first
much,
mastermind.
Lou.
And I'm going to be on our first mastermind call from the airport, because I took the leap and did something we've never done before, and I'm really, really excited to be able to share it and document that. So
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait for that day. I'm so excited, Lou. You're amazing.
thank you, my
I'm so
friend.
happy that you were on. You have the best questions. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much.
Oh,
And we're going to bring on our next special guest.
thank you, my friend.
Bye, Lou. Oh my God. Okay. Who do we have next? Are we going to bring on?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. It's
Hi.
Marion, right?
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Hello. Do you want to share a little bit of like who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Marianne. I am from Spain, living in Portugal. I am an OBM, so online business manager and course creator, and I'm literally just starting in the coaching industry. So I'm quite new with this. So yeah, that's me. Basically, I am now coaching people to create the courses, not just doing it for them, but they also asking me to like coach them. So that's why I'm starting. So I'm kind of like on a transition, changing a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
So
yeah.
let me know what your first question is.
So my first question, that was also like really difficult. Like, who do I ask if it's for me or for the audience? I had this thought. So I hope this helps everyone in, starting. So you were before in the fitness industry, right? And you changed as a business coach. So my question for you, as someone who is also like transitioning, like, how was your change? Like, how did your audience react, and how did you build authority on this new niche?
Yeah. So the reaction from my audience when I went from fitness coaching to business was really incredible and really accepting, because my angle was I took people on the journey as I was transitioning and switching niches. So it wasn't like all of a sudden like, hey guys, I'm just like overnight, I didn't just roll up and starting to do something else. I brought people through the process. So I would like take your audience on the journey of like sharing, like, this is what I was doing, and you guys are here and you guys see that, but this is how I'm evolving my business, and this is so exciting. And I want to show you my thought process. I want to take you behind the scenes of like what it looks like to now be, juggling this transition. Like when we speak to our audience of like, hey, like I'm speaking like you're in this with me and not at people feel like, oh, I'm part of this. And then people want to stay as you transition, because it doesn't feel like, oh, I don't gain value anymore. It's like Marion brought me on her journey, and I love watching the journey. And then that's when people follow you and stay connected to you, even if people don't resonate with how you're transitioning, because that you built that connection and you bring them on the journey, they will stay following, and they will stay with you even as you pivot again, because I'm sure you might and you will. And like that's that's the beautiful thing of building real connections, but also treating your audience like they are a community and building real relationships, because that's what matters.
Great, thank you. And did you, in your experience, did you experience any like the famous imposter syndrome, while you were changing from like fitness to business by any chance?
It's so interesting because I never really resonated with like imposter syndrome. Like, yes, I have doubts. Yes, I have fears, but I never really felt like it felt like imposter syndrome. Like, doesn't imposter syndrome sound like this like
I was really
daunting thing?
strong.
Like, I never
agree.
resonated with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I know is this is like, even if we have a doubt of like, oh, who am I to do this? Or why would people choose me? Or if we're starting something, we feel like a beginner. And then we're going to think, well, who would choose me? Because there's other people that are more advanced. And I get that. But I just always focus on leveraging like my excitement around the thing that I'm doing, whether I'm starting it on day one or I'm more experienced in it. Like that excitement, you have to leverage that excitement. You know why you want to do this. You know you're good at it. You know you can help people. Like that's very true. So lead with that. You're going to have a fear, but your excitement is going to be stronger than your fear. And that's what you have to focus on.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much.
I'm all about courageously confident.
Yes.
You don't get confident without being courageous. And that means you have to be brave. So it's like, be afraid, feel like the smallest person, have all the doubts, but make it happen anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, great. That was my question. Thank you.
That's all?
That's all. I mean, I do you want more? Okay, so.
Yeah, I want more. Let's take one more question.
Oh my God. Okay, so now more about me, now that I've done like a more general question.
Got it.
So in my case, I have like my OBM clients, retainer clients, what I have, but now I'm like transitioning and I have a couple already. I'm helping as a coach to create the courses. Now, no issue, but my dilemma with this is like my programs are normally like 3 to 4 months, depending on what they need help with building their course. So how can I get them to stay longer with me after I build a course when I'm just mainly focusing on help them to create and launch when they need it as well as a OBM?
So are you thinking of like some kind of a continuation after this course to still support
I would like
them?
to, yes. I like to, because I like to be more into the course creation side and less as an OBM. So just have a couple of clients and OBM and the rest focus on course creation.
Okay. So when I think about like my clients or like what an offer would be, I think about the client journey. So what would be of service of them after that course? What would be the next step? What would be the next level of support? Always think about the client, like what would the client need after this? And then I would create some kind of offer that serves the client.
Okay.
So would that be like personalized support? Would that be one-on-one? Would that be a mastermind? Would that be like some kind of continuation where it's like one call a month for 6 months later or a year later, like something like that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's now that you say that, I was thinking like either do like course support basically for the clients who are already enrolled in the course or in the program, do all the metrics and all do the back end, I guess, of that course and be that person supporting that course after its launch, maybe.
Yeah. So it's like they make the course with you, they master that, then they get it going. So then it's like, well, after that, what do they need? Ongoing support, like back end stuff or whatever. And you could do that as one-on-one. So it's like a higher ticket thing, or you could do it in like a smaller group, like mastermind style. So you're still able to give like really incredible support, but maybe it's like with 3 people or 5 people. You know what I mean? Like, and then scalable for you. Yeah,
because I was thinking like, this is great. I mean, amazing. But then it's like, it's not really scalable because it's always still one-to-one and it's just me. So it's still like difficult to scale. But yeah, that's why
the offer after this course can be like, it can feel like more closer touch. So it can be higher ticket. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? It's like if you
Yeah.
mastered this, now if you really want to take it up a level
Mhm.
and get this ongoing support, whether even if it's mastermind or one-on-one, it can be higher ticket because it's really for the people who want to excel beyond the
Yeah.
course.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Amazing.
Yay!
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you
super
guys so
helpful.
much.
Thank you so
Oh my
much.
God. I'm so happy. You know, it's so fun right now. Ocean is literally on the floor right here, but no, you guys can't see him, right? You can't see him. No, he's being so good. This is the first time we ever like let him in. He's being so, oh, Jake's maybe gonna show Ocean your debut. Oh my God. I love it. So how are we doing? Are we gonna wrap up?
Yeah, I just have a question to add to wrap.
Oh, oops.
We had,
Sorry, I was turning my camera
we
here.
had a comment about supportive partners. Like, you know, how important has that been for your business?
Supportive partners.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a tough one in the sense of like it is very hard. Lou's like, what is the answer? I think the hardest part is like if you're an entrepreneur, someone who's not an entrepreneur has no idea what it feels like to be an entrepreneur. So if your partner is not an entrepreneur, they're not actually going to understand what it feels like to be an entrepreneur and build a business. So I really, in my experience with Eric, is like communication is everything in the sense of like just explaining how I feel, explaining what I'm dedicated to, explaining that I'm going to have non-negotiables around what I'm building, explaining that I'm dedicating time and energy and money to my dream. And like, you don't have to understand it, but please support it. That's the biggest thing. And so there's been times where, you know, even like Eric goes to work and Eric drives home. I don't ever leave my work because my work is up here no matter where I am. So that was like a learning curve for Eric to understand, like when he's clocked off, but I don't clock off the same kind of way. And so that took time for us to navigate as a couple, like, okay, then what does that look like? Because it's still important to me to be able to disconnect so we can have relationship time and family time. And so I think that every couple is going to navigate this in a different way, and that's perfect. But you just have to be honest with your partner. And I encourage, you know, you guys to figure out how your partner doesn't have to understand you, but your partner should support you. And that's what I asked Eric of. And I think that that's all we can do. And I think that it takes time to find some kind of a balance, but everyone's definition of balance looks different based off of your season of life. And so for context, and I like to share context, is like, it's so funny because, well, Eric's in the military, so he's been gone for a month and he's driving home today. So like I'm so grateful that Eric's not here all the time in this season of my life because I'm very dedicated to my business. And I think that that's okay. But the reason I share this is if you have a partner who's at home all the time and they're working and you have kids, like that's a very different situation, you know? And so that's why I think everyone's way of navigating this is going to look different. I think that it's just knowing what season of life you're in, what season of life your partner is in, and you might have to have a lot of really difficult conversations about the reality of what you're prioritizing in terms of work and entrepreneurship is. That's what I would say.
We should have a whole episode just on that.
It should be a whole episode, and I think that actually Eric's here next Friday. Maybe Eric would come on the industry with me because we can talk about it, because I think when he shares his perspective on it too, it's really, really helpful. Anytime Eric talks about stuff like this and we share it, people share it with their partners because I think he has a really good mindset around it. So let me know in the comments if you guys would like that, and maybe we should bring Eric up here. But yeah. So anything else to add? I want to say this, and team, we can put it in the comments either now or later. Tonight, 12:01 a.m. October 1st, the Steph Sells email list only is getting something very exciting, and there's like a 12-hour opportunity. So some of you are already on this list and you're gonna get it. We'll put the link, I'm gonna put it on my Instagram stories later. I haven't done a really good job building this up, but it needs a build up. So I have until 12 midnight today to like build it up, and there's something exciting happening. So email list people, like depending what time zone you're in, maybe just wait and don't go to bed until after midnight. No, I'll be asleep while it all goes down, but I wanted to say that. Okay, is there another quick question, or we're gonna wrap up?
Just a lot of people echoing your sentiments and loving it, so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are amazing. Thank you, Lou and Marianne, for being here. The other thing that I will say is these episodes are also on the podcast. The last 2 episodes have been, and also from this moment forward, every Friday at 10 for the rest of my life and the rest of Jake's life, we will be here. So Jake is like, oh God. So bigger and better every time. All right. We love you guys so much. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys in all the places that we are connected. I'm sending everyone so much love. Mwah. Bye, everyone.